Have you ever logged into a Minecraft server and felt completely lost? I know I have. Back when I first joined my survival multiplayer world, everything was so confusing. But how did I go from being a scared new player to building a castle fit for a king? Well, strap in and I'll tell you my story of how I went from a noob to a Nether Lord. In those early days, all I knew how to do was punch trees and run from creepers in the dark. I'd mess around and try to learn the basics, but it was tricky without any guidance. Most others on the server seemed way ahead of me already, with diamond tools and massive buildings. I started to feel like I'd never catch up. Lucky for me, a couple friendly faces took me under their wing. "Don't worry, everyone starts somewhere," they said. They showed me the ropes, how to craft tools, make a farm, mine safely. With their help, I started to get the hang of things. I was no longer afraid of the monsters that go bump in the night. My little square house was becoming a home. Of course, there was still so much more to learn. I spent hours digging through twisting cave systems, collecting materials, but also gaining experience. Slowly but surely, I expanded my knowledge and upped my gear. Iron turned to diamonds, and I started to feel brave enough to face the Nether. My helpers had lit a spark inside me, and now I was burning with curiosity and ambition. Stepping into the Nether for the first time was absolutely terrifying. But I had a goal to take on this hostile place and tame its resources. With my enchanted diamond armor and weapons, I went fortress by fortress, battling ghasts and blazes to stock up on rods and crystals. The rewards were well worth facing my fears. I was evolving from a green new player into a force to be reckoned with. Before I knew it, seasons had passed in the world and I had achieved more than I ever thought possible. With the skills and materials I'd accrued, I embarked on my greatest project yet, building an epic castle worthy of a king like me. Stone by stone and block by block, my creation took shape on a nearby hill. It was the lavish home I deserved after all my triumphs. Now when new players join, they see me not as a noob in need of help, but a Nether Lord to look up to. My journey had come full circle, so if you're ever feeling lost in a new multiplayer world, don't give up. Have courage, keep learning, and don't be afraid to ask for a helping hand. With perseverance and the guidance of friends, you can achieve far more than you ever believed. I'm living proof that any player can go from being a noob to becoming a master of the game. Even after acclimating to the overworld, the Nether still sent shivers down my spine. As I crept through the flaming halls of the fortress, fiery phantoms seemed to melt from the walls. My diamond sword felt flimsy against the horrors that could spawn at any moment. Then, at the end of a long hallway, 2 pinpricks of light floated just out of reach. I stood my ground and raised my blade, though my knees knocked together in fear. The blazes attacked with walls of flame, coming at me from both sides. 1 swing, 2, 3, I parried their fiery blows until, finally, the last blaze dispersed into a cloud of smoke and rods. As the essence of their souls swirled around me, I wondered whether this was really a battle I could win. But in my hand were the spoils of victory and a growing flame of determination. Back in the safety of my home, I sorted through the treasures of the Nether. Blaze rods enough for many brews, and even a few hard-won eyes to aid my greatest quest. As the others had taught me, challenges like this grew my skills with experience. I may have been quaking in my boots at the start, but fighting fear is how one becomes fearless. And so I began to plan my most daring expedition yet, deep into the unknown.